Yay! I believe we are live. Yay! Hey everyone! Yeah, it looks like we are on, and this is such a great opportunity today. We have the beautiful Rosie Rees and myself, Mariah, Freya. Thanks so much for tuning in. Yay! How's it going, Rosie?
I'm good. It's the middle of summer here in Perth. It's beautiful.
Oh, but still feeling a little bit hangover from Christmas, or?
Yeah, a little bit. But then we've got New Year's Eve in a few days, so I'm taking a nice little break, and then I'll probably get back into the party mode again. What about you? You're heavily pregnant.
Yeah, I'm heavily pregnant, exactly. So I was ordering everyone to work for me and do cooking and, decorating the house, and so that was really nice, and I got to hang out more or less on the couch.
Oh, good. So you should.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm super thrilled in the same time, because while I was a little bit hibernating in the past days, we've been really bringing out something very amazing, and we are actually going to talk about this today in this little live call together. So anyone who's right now also live, welcome as well. We're open for any questions and any ideas or thoughts and questions, especially on our new exciting Yoni Egg online course that we created together with Rosie Rees, and we've been already talking about it and sharing it with you all. But I think,
Or if you've already started it, let us know.
Yeah, exactly.
Let us know what you think. If you've done any sessions or the meditations yet, just share something in the comments. I would love to hear.
Exactly. So some of you might have already, checked the first modules, or perhaps you're already doing the sessions that are inside. But we're going to talk about this in a moment. But let's have a short look again shortly at the Yoni egg itself, because you are really the queen of Yoni eggs. You are such a example of how to use this egg in an amazing way, and how to use its potential. And maybe you can just chat shortly again about this, and why you really believe this is something for all women out there.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I discovered the Yoni Egg practice when I was in Bali, and I share this in the first module in my story. So just briefly, I discovered it about 4 or 5 years ago, and I just had an incredible experience the first time I used it. It was the first time I had connected to my yoni, which is your vagina, in a way that wasn't needing to give anything or get anything. So I didn't need to give a man any pleasure, and I didn't need to get an orgasm or, something in return. It was just this beautiful experience of inserting a crystal egg into my vagina and essentially healing a lot of pain that I had felt in that area. Not necessarily physical pain, just emotional pain, and I had released a lot of, old partners and lovers and sexual experiences that I no longer wanted to carry. And then I came home and I just started to use the egg probably every day for about 30 days. And for about 10 minutes to sometimes it was like a couple of hours, I would use it both passively and actively. And I talk about this in the course as well. So passively is literally just wearing it around the house or going for a walk with it in. And actively is more, using your pelvic floor muscles. And after about a month of using it, I had some beautiful experiences orgasmically and in the bedroom, but also just I felt so connected to that part of my body. And that's why we created this in the first place, wasn't it, Mariah? Like, to get women connecting to their yoni, because, if more and more women connect to their vaginas, they connect to their sexuality, they connect to their expression, and just like the totality of them as a woman. It's so important. It's foundational, but unfortunately we're not taught that in school.
Yeah, and we do really believe at Beducated that, it really starts below the belly button. up. So when I'm feeling connected to my yoni, I can make the right decisions in terms of course, how I want to be intimate with my partner, with myself, but also in life. It's really where I feel like there's so much there, so much knowledge there that can help me and support me to really live the life I want to live and to be the best version that I am. And I think that's just a really great opportunity for us all. And this sacred practice is something that helps us to tune in, to constantly be aware of that part of our body, because it's so easy to get back into our head or, kind of think about something else, about shopping or whatever, but the egg will be inside of us while we're practicing with this course, and so it's constantly a reminder to get back and tune in again. So let's maybe have a short look on the course itself. I think it's turned out to be such a great course, because we've really focused on the practical part, on how to implement this in daily life, on how I can actually practice with my yoni egg. And we both realized that so many women, especially you, Rosie, you've worked with so many women in your workshop. You've realized that so many just don't know how to use it and don't know, how to keep it going and be disciplined with it to gain the benefits, right?
Yeah, and I think that felt like my calling. My inbox was full of emails and messages on Instagram. Okay, great, I use the yoni egg, but what then? What do we do? What do I do once it's inside me? Do I walk around with it in? Do I have to hold it in constantly all the time and activate my pelvic floor? Or are there certain exercises? Mm-hmm. And, we send out 3 little exercises in our brochure, but I don't feel like it's enough. And a lot of women were just wanting to know, how can I take my practice to the next level? Or beginners were just wanting to know, okay, great, well, what next? What do I do when I have the egg inside me? And I think that really inspired us. That's how we came together, going, okay, we both have a common goal here, and there's a common thread that I feel a lot of women are just wanting to know, physically, how can I put this into practice? So that's the module that I loved in really creating.
Me too. Yeah, it was a lot of fun filming it as well, and you're such a great teacher and expert in this, and how to use the body and the egg to really go deeper and beyond. And one more thing that comes to my mind is also, I think, we're not used, I think compared to men, they often have if you look at statistics, they have a very strong practice, or let's say a strong habitus on making love to themselves, on masturbation, whereas for us women it's a much more wild country, or far away. It seems like far away. It's not very easy for us to look at our yoni and to be in touch with it. Just physically, you need a mirror and to really have a look at it. And so I think that next step of where I'm actually inserting this crystal egg, this yoni egg, that's also can be quite a scary part for so many women, to insert something by themselves. It's not their partner. It's not because I connected with a girl, and she said, I'm so used to have fun and enjoy myself and be pleasurable and free while I'm with my partner, but once I'm with myself, I'm just blank. It's just, not happening. And so sure, go ahead.
I was just going to say, it's self-care for your vagina, and I talk about this a lot in the course. It's we brush our hair, we moisturize our face, we clip our fingernail, all these kinds of things. What do we actually do for our vagina? Because the Yoni Egg practice isn't essentially a sexual practice. It's just a way of connecting. We're used to putting tampons in or menstrual cups. We might be used to, obviously, penetrative sex, so intercourse with a penis, or dildos and vibrators. But an egg, it's like it is a different experience, and it's very intimate, but not necessarily, getting yourself off either. and which I feel like a lot of women hold a lot of shame around. And so the yoni egg is such a beautiful entry point to accessing your sensuality, which then evolves organically into, you do start to become more sexual and more aroused and more lubricated. There's so many benefits of using one, and a lot of women will discover that when they start to use it.
Yeah. Could you give a few more sentences on why do you think women do struggle with this self-care? Why is it, could be, I mean, not for everyone, but why is it easier to be with my partner and, enjoy myself? But then once I'm by myself, I don't see a point in, being sensual or practicing with the egg, or why is it such a, difficult step to be disciplined and just go ahead or just start with at least tiny steps?
I feel as though it's because of potentially our upbringing and our childhood. And I know for me personally, and a lot of women that I speak to, that we are not even educated about the anatomy of our vaginas. We are not told that it's okay to touch our vagina. Like most women I know, if they were touching their vagina as a kid, their parents would literally slap their hand away. For me, it was always done in privacy, it was so secretive and it was never talked about. I never got any sex education, would you believe? And I'm 31, and so it's not like it was ancient or anything. No sex education, no talk about pleasure or how to touch yourself. So it's pretty hard to go from that to being an orgasmic, ecstatic, sensual woman. How are we meant to? We need to re-educate ourselves. And it's not like a lot of women don't think, I'm going to be home alone tonight, I'm going to masturbate. And I think for me, it wasn't until I discovered vibrators when I was 18, I went to a sexpo, and that for me felt like a really sexually empowering experience. I went to no, it wasn't a sexpo. I didn't go to sexpo until I was 23. But I went to a sex toy shop with my best friend, and we bought one of those vibrating rabbit dildos. And
I had one of those dolphins, it wasn't vibrating, and it had this little balls in there. But I have the exact same story pretty much.
And then because I broke up with my boyfriend who I was with for 3 years, and obviously we weren't going to have sex anymore. So I was like, okay, well, I want to learn how to make myself orgasm. And so we went and got this vibrator, and I think it's really empowering for women to know how to give themselves an orgasm. Even though I don't use vibrators now, or if I do, it's very rarely. The egg helps to resensitize internally and bring about more sensation, and helps you just go to that beautiful part of your body that you probably haven't been to much before. Or if you have, a lot of the time it is just to have a quick orgasm. Whereas using the egg is such a sacred, it can be a very sacred practice of just connection, which will lead to more orgasms and masturbation and
that's what I've experienced as well with the Yoni egg. It's really it's a tool that wherever I am on my journey, even though I might feel very uneducated or very at the beginning of this journey, the Yoni egg will help me to ease into this very naturally, and then through the effects I will feel more desire and more passion and more curiosity to discover more things and play, use this space that I'm creating for myself and play with that space and really use it and spread and extend myself into this and that's what I just love about it, because it's such a low threshold for everyone. And maybe just a few more words before we go into specific questions on the Yoni Egg online course with you, on that aspect of there has been a bad press on the crystals, on especially certain crystals, and some other sexperts are talking about it. What's your point of view on this?
I think it's really important that women know that this practice isn't just this new age woo-woo thing. Women have been using jade eggs inside their vagina for over 5,000 years. And, what do you think we used, not just as eggs, but as for self-pleasure before silicone or plastic or rubber was invented? We used what nature gave us. And, the Chinese women of the imperial palace knew that jade was by far the best stone to use. It's heavy, it's dense, it's virtually imperfection free, it's stronger than steel. And so we always first and foremost recommend women use the jade egg. If you drop it, it won't break. You can put it in boiling hot water. It shouldn't crack if it's real jade. There's lots of different forms of jade. So we always suggest using that jade egg. And, if there's fear around using it, we have a drilled hole. You can easily pull it out with a string. If there are imperfections, make sure you tell whoever you bought the egg from and get a new one. A lot of women talk about, the different crystals, and I personally love using different crystals on different days, and I feel that a lot of women do. There's a lot of traditionalist people who just say just use the jade, but if you want to use a rose quartz or an amethyst or a red carnelian egg, or black obsidian, just make sure that it is, from a really great supplier. So I have Yoni Eggs on my website, Yoni Pleasure Palace, and they're all, certified. They're all completely safe to use internally. And just make sure there's no imperfections on them. So if there's little cracks and things like that, if you're really sensitive, obviously sterilize it in warm water with apple cider vinegar. I've never had an issue with any of the eggs that I've used. And I've used them for 5 years now. So, and if any woman's worried about the toxic shock syndrome, there's not been any cases of this happening. And we actually don't suggest women wearing the egg for long periods of time.
What's
30
your
minutes
suggestion?
is great.
Yeah, so from 10 to 30 minutes.
10 to 30 minutes is sufficient. If you wear it for longer, you don't need to stress. Like I've worn it all day before. We don't recommend doing that simply because the yoni needs to breathe, but also your muscles are going to get bloody tired if you keep that egg inside you. So take it out. And when you start to feel a bit of cramping, that means you've worn it for too long and the muscles are tiring. So just being really aware, and it makes you more aware of that part of your body. So
my personal takeaway is really checking for any cracks or any imperfections, because that's when bacteria can get trapped in and it's hard to clean, and you definitely don't want to have any cracks on them. But if the surface is smooth and if it looks good to you and also in tune with your energy, that seems to be exactly the way to go. Cool. So let's have a look at the online course. I actually prepared to show it to you folks just a little bit, and while I'm showing it to you guys, you can ask us questions in the comments and we get to you. If there's anything that you want to know specifically, just let us know, because we're looking at it right now. So let me just show you that shortly here. So just a moment. Yeah. So that's once you join the Yoni Egg course with Rosie, you're gonna have access to this amazing online course with heaps of information and wisdom, and you can get started right away. So the great thing is that it's really easy to implement, and it's not like thousands of video that you have to watch before you get into practice. You're gonna actually have practical parts right away. So we have here the essentials so that you really know, okay, this is, how to get started, what you need, how we can use it for healing and pleasure. And Rosie was really, really amazing when she looked at the anatomy and the pleasure and, how to heal your womb from inside out. And it's really happening from inside out, because we do have the egg, right, inside of our womb. And that's what's, I think, is so special in this practice. And of course, there's also some things when not to use it for. For example, for myself, I've been using the egg before, but I've sort of stopped using it now as I'm just right before birth, but I'm going to pick it up again after birth, and it's going to be great to strengthen my pelvic floor after birth and to, tune in back into my womb, because right now my baby is sitting on my womb, and so it's kind of being stressed out a little bit, and my pelvic floor is also being a little bit weaker than it used to, so it's going to be a great practice for anyone that's pregnant and or gave birth, but also, of course, for anyone else to strengthen the pelvic floor, right? Rosie, I mean, you have a whole opinion on this, and you share a lot of great value here on strengthening the pelvic floor. We do have an amazing warm-up module, so where you get to experience a beautiful ritual. The breast massage ritual, of course, shouldn't be missing, because it's one of the best warm-up practices for the Yoni Egg practice. How to insert the Yoni Egg mindfully. So this was really, really important for us, and emphasize this part. And again, to really help everyone to be courageous and in the same time mindful with their body, to penetrate themselves with this egg in a very loving, in a very consensual and mindful way. And so there's a great ritual that you follow along, and sort of Rosie helps you to break through some of the blocks that you might be having there.
I think we've done it in a specific order. We really structured this in a way that, the first module is all the essentials, the basics, what you need to know before you even use the egg, ideally.
Right.
Then we move into module 2, which is the warm-up, so all the pre-warm-up stuff that you can do to prepare yourself for the insertion and the workout. So it's really important that you do it in the order that we've created it.
Exactly. Just to, I'm going back to the screen in a moment, but I just wanted to show you one of the actual sessions where Rosie is really showing you step by step how to use the egg on the yoga mat. So I'm just going to start that shortly, just to give you a little sneak peek on that, because I think it's just great. So again, you would already by now know exactly how to warm yourself up and have the egg inserted, right? And there's a few more things that you usually.
This pelvic floor series has been formulated specifically to practice with your Yoni Egg.
I'm just going to show you quickly.
Are targeted for your pelvic
I can hear it.
and to help
Me too.
muscles around the
So she's introducing the pelvic floor, the foundational pelvic floor toning. And again, you just need your yoga mat pretty much, and the egg and a little bit of coconut oil, mint-free string, so without mint or anything on it. And and she'll guide you into different positions, into different body postures that are easy to do and are really, really effective to connect to your body, but constantly be in touch with the Yoni Egg. And I think that's something that hasn't been done before in any other courses out there, where you really get 10 different sessions that you, even if you're very, very motivational, you could do on a weekly basis, and then switch around or combine some of the practices as well. I'm just gonna go back to our faces. All right. Maybe you want to share a little bit more as well on the sessions, because I think it's just really like what makes this course stand out. And
Yeah, for sure. What we've created is 10 sessions that have a variety of different styles. So, we have more gentle and more slower kind of sessions and more heart opening, and then we have quite intense activating ones as well. So traditionally I'm a hatha yoga teacher and a kundalini yoga teacher. So I obviously have a bit of a yoga background, but you definitely don't need any prior experience of doing yoga. It's just that's kind of my history and my passion. But I also, weave in a booty workout, and I was so excited to teach you guys the booty workout. I kept banging on about it, didn't I, before? Like, they need to have, because it's all kind of interlinked. The pelvic floor wraps around, and the booty and the glutes and the thighs and everything. And so my booty workout's my favorite one, because it brings so much power and life force energy to that part of your body. So it's not just, I didn't want all the workouts to be kind of up here, a bit woo-woo, like you don't kind of know what you're doing. They are physical practices that anyone can do. And it's great if you have a yoga mat, but you can also just do it on your bed or on the mats, on the floor. And it's just nice to have a variety, because every day we're different people, really. Like, we have different moods and different, what we feel like cultivating is different every day. So, yeah, you have 10 different sessions to choose from, and I'm just really excited about that, and I want lots of women to experience the power in your pelvic floor, particularly, mums who've given birth, and women who are just disassociated or disconnected to their vaginas, and even just busy women who isn't busy these days, busy women who don't have much time. The beauty about these sessions is they range from 10 minutes to 30 minutes to 40 minutes, so you get to choose how much time you want to put into it.
Yeah, it's totally doable. Also, for myself as a businesswoman and soon-to-be mom, I think this is going to be really, really helpful for me to use these sessions, especially the shorter ones, or have, just a certain amount of practices that I just do, let's say, a half of a session or something, and then I have a final integration session. And it's going to help me really to be adamant or be disciplined with myself and stay with it and keep, my me time going, even though there's lots of stuff happening. What I wanted to emphasize as well is really a self-paced course. So you do it in your own time. You do it from the comfort of your home, without feeling rushed or without, having to jump into something where you're not feeling ready yet. But it's really taking you gradually into this experience. Very, very practical with these follow-along sessions. And I think we've done a really great job in delivering something that we can use for years and years, again and again. When I'm perhaps getting a little bit lazy and I need to dust off my egg again, I just get back to Rosie's course and I'm right up to speed again, and I know what I need to do, and that makes this tool very, very empowering. I don't need anyone else. I just need the egg and myself and some time. And I think that's really, really revolutionary. So if you're curious and are excited to dust off your egg, or need a new inspiration on how to use the egg exactly, you'll find heaps of practices in these sessions, in this course, and we are offering right now a very, very special discount because it's just being released. So we just released it a few days ago. So there's a special discount from $297 down to $97. So that's a very, very special one that we're offering to you right now. You can join right now via the link below. We actually posted the link just in the comments in this Facebook Live. It's going to be a great opportunity for us all to, have that idea of self-care in our mind for the new year. And I think it's never a wrong resolution to think about self-care and think about self-love and about, having more me time for the coming year. So I think if we all start together in January to work with the egg, it's going to be a great impulse for the whole next year. So this is your opportunity to jump on board with your self-care practice. And if you don't have an egg at home already, the great thing is Rosie has an amazing shop where she offers high-quality nephrite jade eggs. So you can buy the course and the Yoni Egg together as a bundle, also reduced from $397 down to $197. So you get access to the course as well as to you get a real jade egg in medium size, drilled, shipped home, so you can start right away as well. Yeah.
And we're throwing in a string with that as well, so the non-wax, non-minted floss that we have, which is, it's important if you're a beginner to use the string.
Exactly. And talking about what else we're throwing in, there's actually heaps of bonuses that you'll get as well. Yes, exactly. So we have our Q&A calls with Rosie. This is something that she won't offer always, and this is your unique opportunity to be part of these Q&A calls and coaching calls where you'll be sharing perhaps more practices as well as, how to overcome certain blocks around how to implement it, and answering all the questions that come up during your journey. And I think this is super valuable to be part of this. So now this is your opportunity. You get also access to our educated private community where you'll be connecting with other like-minded people and really, share how your practice has been and what were your challenges. So there's people, that support you on this journey. And there's also another shopping voucher too. So if you need more Yoni eggs or, want to get a yummy crystal one, that's your chance as well to get that from Rosie reduced. So that's, if you look at all the bonuses together, that's actually a value of $642 that we're looking at, and that's just something that we throw in. So it's, in my opinion, an amazing opportunity. And setting that intention even right now before the new year starts, I think, we'll emphasize this more once we are transitioning into the new year.
Totally. And there's also the module 4, which is all the bonuses. So, how to build, I do a video on how to build a connection to and a relationship to your yoni, how to stay disciplined with the practice. So there's a few tips in there that can help you become a bit more consistent with your practice, because consistency is the main thing. If you actually want to create more connection to your vagina, feel more during sex, have deeper vaginal orgasms, I don't know any woman who doesn't, you actually have to use the egg a minimum of 3 times a week to feel that. So but we're, like I said, we're busy, so we forget this kind of thing. So there's a whole video on discipline, and there's a beautiful womb healing guided meditation which I take you through. And I've already had a woman in my private Facebook group mention that she did the womb healing meditation and it just brought her to tears. She was able to let go of a past lover that she'd had a really negative experience with. So that's already happening. That's just one meditation, and she feels like she cleared so much. And then we also talk about the crystal properties, and also a little bit about vaginal weightlifting and the crystal pleasure wands and a bit of de-armoring. Exactly. So that's all. We don't go into a lot of detail of those, but we touch on it, which I think a lot of women still want to know about them.
Yeah. I mean, we do emphasize on the practical parts, and when it comes to going deeper with weightlifting, for instance, it's not for everyone. So we're offering, an opportunity to look deeper into that and giving recommendations. where to get more information on it, but we do focus on the main part to heal the womb, to really feel more inside, and the weightlifting part can be a little bit too intense for beginners, and also even if you're used to it for a longer time, it's something, it's not for everyone, so and there's, of course, if you know us, we do offer a very high quality standard. So for us, it's very important that the videos are done nicely, that we're really trying to be up to speed in terms of our customer support. And of course, you'll be joining a whole community of like-minded people. And I think that's so valuable to feel like you're not alone in this world with this topic, and you're not the only one who wants to awaken here and wants to feel more empowered. If for any case you're feeling, okay, I'm not learning enough, or I already know everything, check it out anyways, because we do have a 30-day money-back guarantee. So even though you might be already quite advanced in your practice, I'm very, very sure that you'll get heaps of new ideas for your Yoni Egg practice, thanks to the sessions. But if for any case you feel like it's not a fit, just shoot us a message and you'll get the full refund, of course, within those 30 days. Maybe we can talk shortly about, what if I'm not feeling very, very sexual these days? What if I'm not feeling very sensual? Like, is this course still for me? Do I need to, already be a sex bomb and all, or?
Absolutely not. Actually, if you're not feeling sexual or very sexy, this is even more so for you. I've actually had a lot of messages over the past month about women who they feel like their libido's really dropped this month, and they're really wanting to feel more sexually active. And using the Yoni Egg is literally one of the best ways I know how to increase my libido, enhance my lubrication, feel more sensation, because it's a lot of women, again, we get so up here in our mind that we forget about what's below the belly button. And, that's why we wanted to focus so much on the practical physical exercises rather than just reaching you on the mind level, which is really important, and that we do that in the first module. But because by actually using the egg, you will start to feel more sexually alive. Like it's almost inevitable. You can't not feel more juicy when you use it. And some women, but you know what? Some women feel it immediately, and I know women who've literally put the egg in and they've had orgasms straight away. And then I know women who are like, I don't feel anything. Like, am I meant to feel something? You're not actually. We're not meant to feel the weight of the egg. If we did feel the weight of the egg all the time, it would get really annoying. Just like a tampon. Imagine feeling a tampon inside you all the time. It would feel, really uncomfortable. So, after 2 weeks to 4 weeks, you're going to start to feel more sensation. Not necessarily when you use the egg, but after. Like in your actual sexual experiences, either with yourself or your partner, you will start to feel more.
Yeah, so even our partners might be feeling the difference, right? Saying, hang on, something's different. And I think that
definitely. I've heard, one of my old clients, she mentioned that within, I think 2 days, she could hold the egg in for 15 minutes. And then within a week, she could hold it in for 30 minutes. And she also said that her husband noticed a difference in the tightness of her vagina. And notice that Mariah and I haven't really spoken about, we all want to get a tight pussy. Like, that is not what this whole practice is about. I guess that's a bonus, particularly if you have given birth vaginally and you're wanting to kind of give everything a lift. But it's not the sole focus of the Yoni Egg practice. But this woman in particular had 5 children. So amazing. Her husband definitely notice a difference during intercourse.
And I mean,
noticeably tighter.
just to emphasize again, we're not doing it for our partners, of course, but it is a nice side effect. We're doing it for ourselves, and so this is really an opportunity for you today, right now, to join this amazing online course with Rosie Rees and have this experience of empowerment and self-care and self-love for your body in connection with your yoni, in tune with your yoni and your heart. And I think, I can't wait for you all to check it out, to practice along with her. Where can I join it? Just below this video, you'll find it in the comments. There's a link there that leads you straight to the Yoni Egg online course. And you will see also all the things, again, listed that are in there. Hopefully some questions we could already answer today. If there are more questions, of course, you can check out the page as well on the course, but please also reach out to us if there's anything that we can help you and support you with. If you have any struggles checking out or whatever, just reach out to us. This is really a great celebration. Thank you so much, Rosie, for making it into this call and answering our questions here.
Such a pleasure. Yeah. Thank you for having me in Germany to film the course, and I'm just so happy that we have launched this out to the world. I think, there can never be enough sexually empowered women. So, I'm just super excited that this is finally out there and we've created something really educational, but also something very, beautiful for women to experience. So thank you.
Yay, thank you. That was wonderful. Thanks for those last words. Great one. All right, and if there's anything, again, any issues, just let us know. We're there for you.
I basically live on my phone. I've always got it on me. You can message me anything, and I will reply.
And let's start with our Yoni Egg practice today.
Yes.
Awesome. Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye, everyone.